The second I knew my soulmate was out there, the second I witnessed them in a vision, the moment I first saw their eyes and felt their energy, I knew divine union was real. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how each being, each soul that lives on this planet has a soulmate, twin flame, whatever word you want to give it. Each of us have that, and your journey is to transcend any blockage or obstacle from the old earth, from the paradigm, from the construct that keeps you from that connection. Because that's why it's called divine union. You are once again reuniting with your source. That reunion, that union, that purity, that remembering, that recognition, it's from another place beyond space and time. And you come here together, man and woman. Some may disagree with that terminology, but they're getting lost in the labels. You come here together and both halves make a whole. Not to say both are not whole amongst themselves. It's just, it's amplified and significantly increased through the sensations of the infinite connection that is in that recognition of you and your soulmate. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you my own story, all of the appearing women that I've known who all played a part leading me there, how they showed themselves, how they all carried parts of her, and I always knew it. And you can take this into your own story and use this knowledge for yourself. Make sure, if you're new to this channel, subscribe and put your notifications on. Also comment any question you have about this subject, like the video, and share this with someone. Because this is a subject that almost every soul can relate to. Your entire life, it's like you're in a fight against yourself, against the mind, against the projections, the program. But when you get in that kind of connection, the fight ends and peace resumes. Not just peace, but also immense remembering, empowerment, infinite manifestation. The thing about the divine union is it's so powerful that I'm going to do my best here to describe it in words for you. Some things words can't do justice, but these stories might. Only through divine union, only through this recognition, can you witness the dissolution of the old limited reality and step into your highest timeline of pure love. My soulmate and I, my divine partner and I on the highest timeline are connected through telepathy. Before I was even fully awakened, maybe around the age of 20, I was already connecting with her. Around the time usually when you would go rest at night, it's when your guard is being put down, so you're more open to do things knowingly and unknowingly. That's the beauty of this empowered connection, is it's always there, and there's little points in your life where you keep remembering that they're out there. There's always little reminders, and for me, I encountered multiple individuals who all embodied her in a different way, but they weren't actually her. And that is where this story will peak. My divine partner and I are connected through and beyond all timelines and universes. In each universe, in each planet, holds a mechanism. Each planet, each world holds a mechanism of awakening, and through that expansion, there is infinite access to all realities, to where you can connect with something that is beyond time and has full remembrance of the source of all life. That is divine union, because it is in full harmony with the source, with the divine, with the universe, and even beyond any universe. What puts the universe in place, that connection is also put in place by that same source. You see, so that spark that's in each world that I just mentioned is held through that source remembering, that source connection, that divine union. I'm also going to show you in this video some incredible examples that are so vivid and clear that they put in movies, because you have to know this. So it's put in this realm, transmitted through a movie, through music. They put these things in front of you to give you little hints that the awakening is always happening, that it's always available, that this higher knowledge, the divine union, the symbolism of true spirituality, of empowerment, it's always here. So I'm going to give you in this video a couple examples in movies that are very obvious and walk you through it. There are forces that exist that keep you in separation from your divine partner. I have witnessed them take over individuals. I've witnessed them multiply to create scenarios to where they will separate you and your divine partner or your soulmate or whatever reflection you're aligned with at that point within your partner. That will happen because it's all symbolism that they want you to be in separation, to feel alone. The last thing they want is that spark being ignited, which I will show you through these movies and through these stories in this immense video. Because this is your disclosure, in fact, that it does exist and nothing can be compared to it. That's why they do all they can. They put all the effort possible to keep me away from her. Because once you have that full union, once you are with that divine partner, whoever it is, you'll drop all fear. They won't hold you in any limitation anymore. You won't be in your own limitation anymore. It's not about making each other better. It's about mutual, instant transcendence and unconditional love. That love is infinite. You see, you both look at each other and nourish each other like you're the same. There's never shame or guilt or blame or pain. It's not that way. A pure connection is not that, especially when it's coded and written for both to align and meet when they are both awakened enough already to reach that pure love. Does that make sense? Comment and let me know if this is aligning with you, if this is resonating with you. Because every being has this connection. The first time I ever thought I met her, there was this girl who appeared and we had this connection, and it was a relationship, very short. And this girl called herself my soulmate. I knew after some days, weeks, that something was off. But I felt the pure love and the remembrance, the empowerment, the universal energy, the magnetism, the magic. I've never felt anything like that in the eye contact. It invigorated the body in ways I can't even explain on a video. Incredible things happened. But she too disappeared and was just one of the ones leading me to the one that is actually her. When I looked into her eyes, time disappeared, the body disappeared, the mind disappeared, limitation disappeared, even trauma disappeared, memories mostly disappeared. It's like a trance, right? And in that cosmic trance, there is a great flame. That's why they call it twin flame. There is a great power, fire, that is comparable to nothing else. And if you feel that your life, you've always been drawn to have that connection and never fully got in there, but you've always known deep down intuitively that it's there, comment and say, I am ready. I am open. Because this is how you affirm to the universe within yourself on a subconscious level that you're ready to meet your divine partner. Each soul has one. Another instance I can give you, within some months, I met another girl who is the same transmutation happening. By the way, none of this is spiritual consciously. I was not really that awakened at this point. We're talking about almost 7 years ago. We're talking about almost 8 years ago. So a lot of old earth energy was still going on. Now, full devotion to the new earth is here, and only the highest connection will persevere, right? Any negativity, any doubt put in any thought or comment, it's all just puppets for the matrix. And these same puppets, they want to keep you away from her. They want to keep you away from them. Whoever you are, they want to keep you from that. That's their part. It's designed in this play. And everyone plays their part perfectly. However, when you get in a connection like this that I'm going to keep giving you hints about, instances of these stories where I had these experiences, it's basically an out-of-body experience, y'all. Because every time I met her, every time I met one of them through her, every time I met her through one of them, it's like you're not in the body even. It's like an out-of-body experience, but you're getting to enjoy the bodily experience. This is as clear as I'm going to be able to get for now. You have access to certain psychic abilities in that kind of connection where it can awaken senses to the body that you don't even know exist. This is the whole premise of you watching this video, because you got to know this, because then you know that there's something higher out there. Your reward for your own spiritual devotion, I'm telling you from experience, is that connection. You'll get closer and closer to them the more you get closer to your source and awaken beyond any limitation of lack, right? Lack, scarcity, it's not just to do with money, right? If someone is afraid to spend money on themselves in any way, physically, spiritually, if they don't devote themselves to investing in their evolution, higher knowledge, but they can invest for their whole life in spending in the mundane and supporting that matrix construct, then they're not going to know this connection. Not permanently. The only way you can get to full, timeless, permanent divine union is through your own dissolution, through your own devotion, right? Which leads me to my next point. If you want to book a one-on-one session with me where I'll take you to your highest timeline and bring you much closer to your divine partner, to feel them, to sense them, to let go of any limitation that keeps you in the parameters of the matrix, to open your chakras, the heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, these have to be open if you're going to be with your divine partner. These have to be open if you're going to be awakened, if you're going to speak your truth. That truth will lead you into that. So if you are ready for that, and you want also a psychic reading, you want an astrology reading, you want a palm reading, past lives where you will have that connection, that divine union, be seen through me in this reading, in this session, email me. I'll remove any entities that keep you blocked and limited and in fear and in any old program. They keep you away from your twin flame, from your soulmate. I'll remove these entities as well in the session. If you're interested, email me through the email in the description of this video. Only if you're ready to take the next step and take that leap into shifting into your highest timeline. Movie break. It's time for me to give you, for the first time on this channel, the clarity of what the Matrix puts in front of you in these movies. Pay attention, because it's really unreal. In this movie, the most recent one from the Matrix series, he goes back into a simulation, Matrix. He goes back into the Matrix. His divine partner, the woman who's in all of the movies in this series, is also there, but she forgets. He has to awaken deeper, she has to awaken deeper. They have to remember each other, basically. And she marries someone else. She has a family. But it's not what it seems. They don't represent the soul, or divinity, or truth, or empowerment, or timelessness. They don't represent the timeless essence of spirit. They represent the illusion of the Matrix. And they sense this. All of the characters in the background, all of the ones that appeared to be this woman's family, her children, the husband that she married, the fake one, the one who is not aware, the one who works for the Matrix, basically, right? Anyway, let's skip forward. There's a scene now I'm going to show you here where they're in a place with all these Matrix characters, and there starts to be this opening of the consciousness. Something is getting sparked, and they see each other, but there's an energy blockage in between them that keeps them, they're magnets, but there's a blockage keeping that union from happening. But once it happens, all these characters are doing all they can to stop it. The Matrix knows, but they have to awaken these spirit beings. They have to get out of the Matrix. So, at a certain point, they actually touch hands. At a certain point, they actually touch each other. When that happens, a great spark of magnetism and magic comes from the universe, and it immerses them into that union, and all of the illusion dissolves. They all get pushed away because they can't stay around that light. It's too powerful. There's too much awareness. There's too much God. They can't take that because we know who they work for, right? But they're just playing their part. But once they have this awakening, you see here, everything clicks and they remember. Then they shift out of the Matrix together and they end up transcending the illusion. The whole point is to show you the symbolism energetically through the layers, metaphysically, the coding of the physical realm, that it will fade and dissolve and break apart the second you get in tune with your divine partner. And here's the best part of this video I'm giving y'all. That doesn't have to be in physical touch only. You can do that internally through your own divine masculine, divine feminine within you. You have both alive within you, and that partner is the reflection where it's the union. Where you get, so like as a man, more divine masculine. So then in that partner, And then in that partnership, when it's divine union, the divine feminine shines more through. But both are in harmony within themselves, that those energies are available within them through the source of life. Then, once you get in tune with those feelings, those sensations, those energies, you detach from the illusion, you awaken. Then you start to get closer and closer to that timeline where you do meet with them because you detach, because it's already alive within you. You see, there are so many movies where they have to tell you this because that's the law of balance. I talk about this in other videos. Check it out. Because the time for humanity to awaken is now. And that divine union has to happen through the collective consciousness awakening to the fact that it's alive within them. And this is timeless, what I'm referring to. The infinite expanse of the ocean. It exists through all of your instances that you know something higher is here, that you know there's got to be a greater point to this, and you awaken. These parts in these movies exist to show you, to give you proof that it does in fact exist. The psychological mind, rational mind, the ego, what the matrix programmed within you, your conditioning, will say it's just a movie, it's fiction. Everything is fiction. There's no such thing as one fixed reality. It's time you come to terms with that. The longer you deny it, the longer you're delaying your awakening. Then that also means the longer you will stay away from your divine partner in full union permanently. You have to devote yourself and unlock higher spiritual knowledge. That all leads you closer. Now, another movie I'm going to give you where they show you this now. There's this movie called The Truman Show. There's one little instance that's different than the rest of the movie that maybe slipped past a lot of souls who saw this movie. It's not just about showing how the reality is not what it seems, like I just told you. It's also them showing you that he does have a divine partner that's trying to help him from a higher timeline. And she gets close to him. You're going to see here now. I'm going to talk you through it. She gets close to him and she's trying to hint at him that they're watching him, these entities. Wake up. It's not what it seems. And he senses that reflection, that divine union, and they get close. But then the matrix, the ones who work for the matrix, they do everything they can to disrupt their union. So they take her away. Same trend, common trend in both movies, the Matrix movie, all of it. It's all the same thing. There are also other movies. Find them for yourself. The point of that is to show you that there is something monitoring him, keeping him in a limited reality, the illusion, a movie, basically, right? However, there is something much higher waiting beyond the barriers of that play. He's literally living in a play life. They're hinting at it to show you that it's going on here, and you have to expand your consciousness through your environmental senses, through your universal awakening, through space and time with higher knowledge. That's one of the things I give you in a session. That's one of the things I give you in all my videos, all these transmissions I give you through this devotion to truth for humanity to awaken. They're not just words. Those who have this open, those who are ready to hear the truth, those who are ready to live in it, they know exactly what I'm talking about. The other ones, either you're still lost or we know who you work for. I am calling in all of the souls that exist on any earth experience that can witness this reflection through consciousness, through the collective consciousness. I'm calling upon each soul to have that spiritual awakening, that divine union within themselves, to remember, to devote themselves to something higher, and the rewards will be immense, boundless, timeless, beyond the material realm, but they will fill your material life with gold. Not just on a material level though, on an internal, spiritual, divine level, on a cellular level, on a psychic level. Even the mental will be improved. Everything will be expanded and enhanced through that awakening. The time for the awakening is now. Let me continue to give you more stories about how they kept trying to keep me separate from her. At a certain point, the connection started to become more ethereal, more awakened, more spiritual, in alignment with my own awakening. I met more. I met another one. This girl had more in tune energy with astrology. More getting closer to things. To that there's something higher, a more powerful ethereal connection. But not so much consciousness. That's the next level. Beyond concepts. No matter how much synastry or commonality you have in an astrology chart with someone, no matter how much your energies align, metaphysically, physically, emotionally, if they're not the one, if they're not meant to play that, if if they're only playing a part showing you who she is, who they are, that there's something higher out there, which luckily for me, intuitively, somehow I always had this sense on a subconscious level that it's not her. Back off. Self-sabotage or trust in the divine. I say the second one. But they all shared the same thing, like I told you in the first one. I'm going to give you more instances, but this one also, same thing. In the eye contact, there's something that will glare beyond the physical realm. It's a reminder that something higher is out there. It's not a normal connection where you're just feeling drawn to someone, maybe romantic, right? No, these are the ones that are put in place to remind you. They reminded me that she exists. They're parts of the puzzle. They hold certain aspects of that higher connection, but not the totality. So they go back to the universe, they go back to wherever they came from, they showed me what they were meant to show me, and it all led me to know that she does in fact exist. Through dreams, through visions. I know this. The both of us have the ability to witness through the simulation and even into the spirit realm. This is what those entities fear the most. The Matrix fears it. Because once we both notice that in our own life experience, once you notice it, worry about yourself at first. Once you know it deep down, the old timeline, the old earth, the illusion, it's already on a countdown. That is the invigoration of your awakening into the expanse of your twin flame connection, into your divine union with your soulmate. Like the movie The Matrix I told you about earlier. It's always hinting at the same thing, y'all. There's two, a man and a woman, usually. There's something going wrong with the life, something's off. There's an awakening to higher possibilities, that this is an illusion. Simulation. Why are there so many movies about this? Is it a coincidence? Or is it the law of balance where they have to give you these insights of truth so you have a chance to wake up through what's in front of you? Because if it was only depending on your own awakening, your timeline of awakening would be slowed down significantly. But you have support, not just through this video. The support is also through the universe, showing you through these actors on the stage that there are many actors, and it is a stage, and it's an illusion, and your higher connection is beyond that illusion. So the conclusion is that they're always within you, this pure love. You just have to allow yourself to focus on that stability, that timeless recognition. I'm going to give you another instance now of another one. This is all, by the way, all these girls are within the same 2 or 3 years. It's kind of crazy, right? So this is the third one I'm telling you about. There's probably more that I'm not mentioning, but this is the third one I'm going to mention, all within the same year. This third one was spiritual, a holistic, beautiful woman. Divine, has a spiritual practice within herself, aligning with my own spiritual practice and meditation and devotion and awakening that I'm already going through in my own self. And there's a deep presence and a timeless recognition within her. It's like no matter how many hours we spent together, it's not enough. Sagittarius Sun, Gemini Moon. You always sense that there's something deeper there. It's telling you something. They're playing a part, showing you something. Then they'll disappear. The common theme they all have is they disappear. You have to remember that. I'm giving you some major advice here. Don't be hurt when they disappear. Because this was written from the higher side. They have to go so that you align with the one that is actually her. If you can't tell, this is a subject I'm very passionate about because it's the truth. The truth remains in a divine union, and that appears within yourself. It's like my divine masculine energy became more awakened through each one of these women, because every time I witness that timeless connection through the eyes, through the benevolence and the embodiment, it's not lust or desire. It's pure love and divine remembrance. It's almost as though at that point we were both sharing a spiritual awakening, witnessing things, and I was helping her, guiding her as a divine masculine. The feminine is the embrace, taking it in. The masculine is the giving, placing, literally. It's placed like that physically on the body, how you connect, and it's placed like that metaphysically in the divine union, how both play their part in the masculine feminine energy. The woman creates the home, has the space, the embodiment, and the man leads and shines the divine union of the sun, the pure masculine energy, to reinforce the truth of God within this realm, to awaken that pure connection within both. That's the gift of each soul connection. Which one is your true soulmate? Are there many, and they're all leading to your divine partner? Yes. They all play a part. Who is who? Give it some time. Trust in the divine. Create that space within yourself and trust. Always be open. Never close yourself. Even if you do it temporarily, you're only human. What about the part of you that's not only human? Open to that. And that timeless connection will find you. And she is out there. They are out there. Not just out there, in here. Through the telepathy. Through witnessing hints and dreams. Sometimes I would get visions and I'd be in another place, an out-of-body experience, and I'm in a different realm witnessing things in a physical environment. And they're all taking me through these loops, through these parts in the maze, leading me to her. All right. What I'm about to tell you is the most interesting part of this story. Probably. Girl number 4 and 5, the 4th woman and the 5th woman appeared in the same day. When I first saw her, Virgo sun, Leo moon, one of them Cancer sun, Scorpio moon, if I remember correctly. The other one, Virgo sun, Leo moon. Here's the thing. They both represent the same part of myself, but they're both intertwined. That's why they appeared in the same day. Now, they also represented, or they reflected back within me, a very dark part. Something that I have had to transcend in the last couple of years. But through that darkness, there is a divine empowerment that is infinite and has the potential of every universe put into one. They both represented that. I met one, and then hours later, I met the other. But they knew each other in their own life experience. Coincidence or divine magic? I say the second one. It's all written and scripted this way so that you don't forget that. As an example, what I witnessed in both of them is almost like this morphing. Shape-shifting is real, y'all, okay? Whether it's some sort of entity or a soul showing you something with another, or both. They use these energies, these spirit beings, to show you that magic is possible, that much more is out there than you see. The physical eyes only perceive 1% of what's actually happening. You've got to look through here. Heart-mind coherence. This is how you get to that place where you're in infinite space and you start to have these kind of connections. You see, with both of them, it was like nothing mattered anymore. All I could think about is the fact that there is this magnetic, timeless, infinite, even indescribable. You can't even describe it so much. But it's not of the body, and it's a pure connection of pure consciousness, where there's this presence that doesn't move, kind of like the ones earlier, but enhanced 10 times over in the appearance of that moment. But they too disappeared. Let it go. Everything that belongs to the earth will make its way back to it. And if it's of spirit, it'll make its way back to your spirit. I told you it's the craziest part of the story. All the stories. And you're maybe wondering, that wasn't that crazy. Let me get to the best part. At a certain point, once I knew they knew each other, and they figured it out at some point after the first few days. I figured it out within a couple of weeks. But they planned some sort of thing where they were in the same space and appearing on the screen of consciousness in front of me, taking places. And I knew it. My nervous system was breaking down. I thought, oh man, I'm in love with both. I'm in love with her. I'm in love with her. What do I do about this? They know each other. Something is off. It's like a setup. But I couldn't tell energetically because I wasn't fully in my power. I was like 80% there, right? Very powerful. but something was missing and I couldn't put it together, but I knew something is off, and I knew they must know each other. It's like they're near each other. I could, on a telepathic level, I knew the whole time. My heart was going crazy. My heart was beating like crazy because I knew that they're around each other. I could sense it. This is from a distance, by the way. It's not just physically here. It's on a call. This time I'm talking about. And they switch, and they're in the same room, and they show each other. What does that do to a man who's awakening? It makes him go crazier. But as I was told by the most awakened being I've ever known, you have to be a little bit crazy to be free. So they helped me through that insane development of a moment. And then there was the consistent theme of them both appearing next to each other like this. If you know what that means, you know what that means. It is like they coexist within each other, and there's nothing I can do about it. I can't have one. They're both there. Can't have anything here. They can't have me. I belong to my source. I belong to the infinite beauty of the universe that created this realm. I represent something that's beyond space and time. They reminded me of that through the major aspect of her that they carry within themselves. We're getting closer and closer to the actual her now. That's one intense, immense obstacle for a man to overcome. Being in love with two at the same time who both have psychic abilities. One of them told me they put a spell on me. Did I let that break me? No. I still held on to the pure love. I think the spell happens through the eyes getting lost in the physical. Through you giving yourself without having your own protection. So be aware, y'all. I'm sharing the most intimate parts of my life so that you can make good with it. Because you're going to go through your own experiences, you probably already have, and then there's going to be more. Now you have a major guide into seeing through that, because I know what they represent. They represent the darkness. They also represent the light, somehow. Because the light is within me and they appear through me, and the most powerful pure love I ever felt to that moment, even more than the ones before, because there was something there that I'll never be able to explain greater than I can in this video, probably. It's almost as though the spirit took over the body. Not a possession, but a spiritual opening. And in that opening, the greatest magic of connection was ever felt in two, and almost the same way, multiplied at the same time. There were also many instances of girls appearing and lasting one day on the screen, where they said they're my twin flame, where they say they're my soulmate. Whoa. Similar connection to what I'm referring to in these ones where it lasted longer, right? Where it was more developed, more open. Similar connection, similar attraction. But there is that spiritual essence there. That's where that darkness takes your energy and projects back to you false light. You got to be real careful with the false light in this realm, because they know how to use it, the false light. The true light has to be protected so that you can manifest your highest timeline, so that you have the discernment to know who is actually her, who is your twin flame, who is your divine partner. Then I met her. They did everything they can to keep us apart. Many entities attacked. They even tried taking her and putting her far away from me and locking her away. Literally. What you have to understand is they'll do whatever they can to keep you in separation. But when you sense that something is going to take over the whole day, when something more dark is taking over to try and create some sort of diversion in the most pure connection, or the most stable connection, the most consistent connection, where you're building something together, you gotta know. From my experience, do everything you can to protect it. Take it away and run. Start your own life together. I've experienced this. It's good because it expands your independence. It expands yourself in the spirit, because we both, through each other, have had immense spiritual awakening. Immense recognition of the matrix, of all of the false characters, the ones who aren't of spirit. Not everyone here is who they seem. We have to come to terms with that now. It's like we give each other a protection layer where it's almost like nothing physical can come near. You keep that energy bubble around yourselves as a shield, and you expand the connection from there, and the love, the sincerity, how sincere it is, how clear it is. That's the whole point of all of this, getting you to that clear, pure connection where you create that life together, and that's what the entities don't want to see from my experience. Luckily for us, God is much more powerful than the devil. There's nothing they can do to stop something. I have let go of everything old in this life, everything that is not empowerment in truth, so that I only get to experience this journey, this opening, this awakening of this connection, and build from there. The pure love, the nurturing, the light essence, the trust. That is what you got to lead yourself to, and that's when you know you've met the one, when you're experiencing that. They're all leading me to this one place. This is what I'm telling you. Have discernment and know who is who. In my experience, they keep entities around you appearing through physical forms that monitor you and try to stop your progress at all costs, to separate you. They use your weaknesses against you. They will use desire or implanted habits or programs that lower your energy, that lower your vibration, and they'll use it against you. They use it against both of us, actually, to keep us further and further apart. It doesn't work doing that because there's so much awakening happening consistently. The stability of such is timeless. So they're just little bumps in the road. Each bump in the road is only temporarily delaying what is inevitable. Don't look at any of those downfalls, any downfall, any moment where you have a spiral. When the connection seems to weaken, you get lost in your own darkness. They projected on both of us for a reason, as a test, and to try and block the illumination. But now it is obvious that the simulation is ending because there's such a consistent frequency being brought as awareness to dissolve the old and increase the awakening of the collective consciousness. And that's the point also of your divine union, to experience the shift into the new earth together. What I can say to close this video is both the divine masculine and the divine feminine both play their part in unraveling the layers of deception, of the illusion, to create that higher awakening, empowerment, remembering, to utilize your own abilities and have your senses fully reach that stability of your source connection again, through that source connection of the divine union connection, of your divine connection with your divine partner. That divine union brings you into your timeless self. The illusion will never last longer than a pure connection of unconditional love. That's just the truth. And we're talking about a connection based upon only truth. That's not to say that many of the deceptions within one another won't come out through the reflection. That's the ego trigger process. You got to get through that. That comes through devotion to source and being patient with one another. Patience, compassion, mercy, stability, awareness will always overpower anger, projections, guilt, shame, blame. These lower energies keep you into the delay, into the separation, into lack. The higher ones I mentioned first bring you into your highest timeline, bring you into your divine union, bring you into self-empowerment, into remembering, into awakening, and they dissolve the matrix around you so that the physical construct will only represent the spiritual truth. Everything else eventually starts to fade. That's through your own consistent remembering, devotion, stability, and love. It's like you don't have to question too much. You'll question things about reality maybe. There's so much vitality and the pure life force that you both represent within one another, and the shared consciousness, the collective consciousness is fully alive. The collective consciousness lives within all beings. This connection, however, is the full divine harmony. The spark of source comes out the most through this pure, powerful connection of God within one another. That is the whole reward of spiritual awakening.